listening to the Bob Culture Podcast.
Nothing between the lines of the page or at a time. Forgiveness is courageous, but this is your felt as a line. That's in no second chance or redemption can be found. 'Cause you can't have the devil and the devil is running you down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, back here. We're live at Titan Championship Wrestling presents Furious Intentions with someone who's having, her fourth match tonight, teaming up with Adina Steele versus Christina Marie. It looks like it's going to be a handicap match. We'll find out what's going on with that later. Please welcome to the show, and I believe her first ever podcast appearance, Miss Becca Wiley. Becca, welcome in. How are you?
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I saved this podcast specifically for you. So, I mean, I got some people asking, but I was like, can't do it without this podcast.
I appreciate that, and that was really cool. You had mentioned to me, like, hey, people are asking, I want to be on the BCP first, and I really appreciate that. That's great. I've been here. We've been watching you up and coming here, training with Titan, Preacher, Frankie, Josh, all those just great trainers, some of the best. I mean, what's it been like for you so far, this roller coaster?
That's a hard question to start off with. I feel like it's had its ups and downs, as everything would. It definitely took an emotional toll on me at times.
For sure.
But I really love it, and I just love the feeling I get from being able to do what I love and put myself out there. I love being able to just be someone else for a little bit.
Yeah, I love that. And I want to talk about your debut. Now, tonight's officially your fourth match, but I remember talking to you a little bit. You were doing like your little video vlog or whatever you're talking about, and I'm thinking, you probably put a lot of pressure on yourself. This is your first match ever coming out at Titan. This is your big debut, and I think it couldn't have gone better. You came through the curtain. The crowd was very receptive. You had a solid first match. A first match is very hard to have. It was really, really solid. What were the nerves like? What was it like for you? Was there anyone that kind of helped you out, gave you confidence, anything like that?
While I despise her, Riley Shepard was over there,
Yeah.
Eyeing me down,
Yeah.
but just nodding her head at me, because I went from someone who she attacked to now having a match.
That's wrestling for you, yeah.
Yeah, so it
Pretty
went
much.
from, eyeing me down, but, not of respect the same way, so that helped calm my nerves. But really, I wasn't as nervous as I thought I would be, but about 10 minutes for the match, then I was like, oh, God, this is actually happening. Okay.
Yeah, and it went awesome. And when you went through that curtain, there was a warm reception for you. And when you're in the ring, you're hitting all your spots. Like, what was that everything that you had dreamed it to be? Because I know you put wrestling on a pedestal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything that I ever imagined, it was right there. And all my friends were there, so it was really cool to see all my school friends were there.
And I bet they were going crazy for you, too.
Yeah.
So tell me about Becca Wiley. I'm thinking I'm like, my brain goes to Wile E. Coyote from, like, the Looney
That's
Tunes
what
back.
Preacher says.
Really? Okay,
Yes.
because we're old. But, no, I think Wile E. Coyote. And it's a great wrestling name. It's really, really cool. And when you came through the curtain, I thought that your kick pads were glowing. I guess the lights were
Everyone said that.
And I, like, my drum set's kind of like the bright green that kind of, it looks like it glows when the lights catch it. So I'm like, oh, wow, like, she's making, like, her debut with these LED, like, kick pads. Like, tell us about who Becca Wiley, the wrestler, is.
Becca Wiley is just someone everyone, you see her as, a side. You don't take her seriously. But then, she surprises you, and she overcomes whatever challenges put in front of her, because that's what I've been doing all my life. I kept fighting. So I'm like, well, if that's just who I am, that's who Becca Wiley's going to be.
Yeah, I got you. And you don't have to go into detail, but you face personal challenges in life. Tell us how that parallels to what's going on in wrestling.
Oh, I'm more than happy to talk about it.
Yeah, whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah.
Cerebral Palsy. I have cerebral palsy, and it affects your movement. I have it, and so I really just want to represent the people who have cerebral palsy, because
Love
I feel like there's only so many wrestlers, and I'm the only woman wrestler with it, so I feel like it's special to represent the people, especially little girls who have it, because they can feel like, hey, you can do anything you want, because I'm out here doing this, so you can do it too.
Yeah, some of my students that I teach, like I teach drum lessons, and they have it, and it's crazy to see what people can overcome. And you talk about wrestle. I'm trying to think, is it Gregory Irons? I'm trying to think.
Gregory Irons, yeah.
And good for you. And how's that transition been for you? Just like, hey, I have to go. Like, you want to do this. You could tell you were a fan. You look up to so many ladies in this business, and then you start training with Preach. And let's be real. Great trainer. I'm sure he worked you guys so hard. Like, what was that like extra challenging for you? What was that like?
At times it was, but Preacher was just really understanding because I told him about it. So
Yeah,
when I
right.
needed to, he would let me, like take a break and whatever. But like everyone's just always been so supportive of it because they just see me as like doing something, like making a difference. So that's why everyone's been, like so supportive of it.
Yeah, and we talk about kind of like the reception you had during your first match. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you competed for the Goddesses of War Championship technically already, right? In a triple threat.
Yeah, second match.
What was that, your second match? You competed for the title? I mean, what's going on with that?
I don't know. I mean, right place, right time. You just got to be there, and I was there.
That's it, in this business. That's right. Ready to go. Good for you. And, we spoke to Deanna on the show, first name drop. We love Deanna. She's so kind, and we're appreciative of her making the time for us always. But I had her shout you out a couple times because I know she's someone that you really look up to. And did you get any sort of feedback from them, or did you have any communication with any of these stars that you look up to? I know you see them at shows and stuff like that, and say, hey, I wrestled my first match. Was there any sort of feedback?
Allison Kay, shout out to her. Aww. My favorite person in the entire world, and also my favorite person to annoy.
Okay.
Besides the point, I sent her my match and my second match too, and she gives me really, really nice and good feedback, and I find it like the nicest thing ever because she goes out of her way to do that for me.
Yeah.
And I find it like the kindest thing ever. But she's really the one who I send my stuff to get like feedback on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got to ask you this one. Shameless promo for tonight. Everyone watching back, go back. This will be up on Mob Fight TV. The match was supposed to be Ali Rex and Christina Marie, both former guests of the show, taking on you and the Goddesses of War champion, Adina Steele. Now we know Ali not able to make it because of the hurricane. Hope everyone's good down there in Florida. That being said, looks like it might be a handicap match. You never know with these things. Always a lot of audibles. How you feeling tagging with the champ, 2 against 1? Welcome in Chad Minutes. Give him a shout. December 3rd, we got the Super Camp. We'll talk about that later. Shameless promo. But you have this handicap match with the champ. You must be feeling pretty confident.
Oh, how can I not be? I'm teaming with the champion, like literally the champion of Tiny Championship Wrestling. How can one not be confident? I have a good feeling we got this in the bag. Even if it was just the 2-on-2.
Wow.
Just because it's handicapped doesn't make it any different. I would be confident in us no matter who it was.
Yeah, great answer. And I got to ask you this one. I think we talked about it on your vlog a little bit, but who you and like Adina's got the gold. We know that. I'm sure you want to get gold. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But who are you targeting? Not even necessarily in Titan, but all over the Northeast Independents.
So I got 2 people on my mind.
Please.
1, Feel Better Soon, Riley Shepard.
A little glare there.
I don't forget, and I don't forgive. You put your hands on me more than once. And
she likes to yell at me a lot, yeah.
I'll get her back for this.
No, okay. I appreciate that.
And then also, I call her out all the time on it, Allison Kay, where she agreed to the match. We just need someone to place the match on the card and make it happen.
So she verbally agreed to the match, though.
She says she's going to chop me. I'm like, okay. But I'm going to kick you back.
Comes with the territory. That's wrestling for you. And what are the goals? And I know it's like gold and all that kind of stuff, and you can talk about that too, but is it like a long-term feud? Is it to kind of climb the ranks and not just be in Titan, but kind of, work with some other promotions? Do you want to kind of hone your craft here at Titan and Funhouse and all that kind of stuff?
I just want to get my name out there and then just inspire as many people as possible, because if I can make someone say, that's my hero, that's my goal. I don't need gold, and I don't need anything from this. All I want is just someone to say, I can look up to her because she's inspiring.
I love that, and that's what it should be all about. Beck, I want to ask you this one, and I know that I'll try to wrap it up quickly because I know Charlie wants you to do some work over here, and I'm appreciative of you for making the time here. You're like, let's keep going. But I got to ask you this one. We see all these big names kind of from AEW. We see all these big names from all over, kind of in the independents all the time. It's really, really cool. If there was, I know you said Allison Kay or Sienna, but who, I guess, from television, because it can happen, we see it all the time, would you like to work with one day?
On TV?
Yeah, it's Deanna, isn't it?
Well, I have like 3.
Go, good. Give me all of them. Yeah.
Deanna, definitely. Rosemary, because she's really the person who helped me get my first match because that's the first time I worked with another woman, and then it showed Charlie what I was able to do with another woman in the ring, so it opened his eyes.
Oh yeah, I guess so, because the training class. Yeah,
because I always wrestle with the guys. So because of her, I am now wrestling. So I'd like to say that because it's true. Because without her, I don't know if I'd be having matches right now. So I would love one day to face her, and then also Bailey.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you go way back.
My number
Bailey.
one.
Yeah.
My number one always.
Do you like this new? I shouldn't say new because she's been this way for a while, but she's returned. Do we like this heel Bailey, or did you kind of prefer like the bubbly?
Oh, I adore any Bailey. I will still cheer for any Bailey you give me. I'll give a big pop for her in my living room. From my living room, I'll be like screaming like, "Yeah, go Bailey, let's go!"
Who are your favorites in WWE right now?
Bailey, Liv Morgan, and Dakota Kai.
Yeah, that's awesome. And right now, you're kind of towing that line, like you're a fan. And let's be real, we're all very, very big fans. You know, the thing I love about doing this is we get to talk to all up and comers, and thank you for making this your first podcast. It's really cool. And we get to talk to our heroes and all that stuff, man. And that's what it's all about. So Becca, I'll just say, hey, you know, be smart. Be safe. You're just starting out. Big match tonight. Maybe one day we'll be the Goddesses of War champion. Are you in the cup? I think you're in the tournament.
I am in the tournament.
It has been announced, right? We're not.
No spoilers here. I am in the tournament.
How you feeling about? That's pretty cool. I mean, this early in your career, getting that tournament spot. You know?
I'm pretty like excited about that because considering out of all the people they could have chose, they picked me to be one of those 16 participants, and it's like you picked me. And I was like, wow, like that's like really, really cool. So I'm really excited about that and so happy.
Well, you deserve it, Becca. Thank you for taking the time. I know you got some work to do. You got a big match tonight. Thank you for making this your first podcast. And just be safe out there, be smart, and just continue success, Becca. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Good luck. All right, we out.